Having multiple wives at the same time has been the main focus of the reality television show Seeking Sister Wife. While polygamy isn't legally allowed in the United States and is considered a crime, it didn't stop some men and women from pursuing this lifestyle. The TLC network documented some of these families, starting airing the show in 2018. With its unique and unconventional family structure, the TV show attracted many curious viewers, especially with the various scandals that surrounded the participants of the show. Polygamous families became a new hot subject for reality TV producers, and the term sister wife was widely used. But still, many people were confused about its meaning. A sister wife has been referred to as one of the multiple women married to the same man. The women call each other sister wife because the relationship in an ideal polygamous family structure should constitute a sisterhood. However, since the practice has been declared illegal in all 50 states in the U.S., the man is only officially married to one of them, and the rest were all married in spirit. With the abundance of TV shows offering the same content on TV, Seeking Sister Wife gave a new twist. Instead of just showing how the plural family worked, the TV series focused on the stages of acquiring a new sister wife. From the time they talked about seeking a new sister wife to the time they met, dated, and eventually welcomed the new wife into the family, all was documented in one season. The TV show claimed that it had never been done on TV before, because people from a polygamous lifestyle in the past weren't forthcoming about sharing this intimate process publicly. The TV producers proudly shared that the viewers would then get an unprecedented bird's-eye view of how husbands and wives date online and in person, and explore the ins and outs of seeking and incorporating a new wife into their family structure. Seeking Sister Wife made its television debut on 14 January 2018 and aired about 30 episodes in the span of 3 seasons. Fans were expecting the reality TV show to be back for its 4th season because there was no announcement or any hint at all that it would be canceled. But the last episode was aired on 7 June 2021, with still many unresolved issues to be explored. However, when accusations of domestic abuse surfaced in August 2021 from one of the cast members, the general consensus online was that the show was unlikely to be renewed. The idea of having plural relationships piqued the curiosity of many people, and when Seeking Sister Wife came to fruition, it soon became one of the most watched TV series on TLC. During its original season, it featured 3 families: the Aldridges, the Brineys, and the Snowdens. The Briney family left the following season, and so the producers added 2 more families, the Winders and the McGees. By the 3rd season, only the Snowdens and the Winders returned to the show to welcome 3 new families, the Merrifields, the Clarks, and the Joneses. Out of all the polygamous families, it was Jeff Aldridge whom fans thought was the coolest of the 3 patriarchs, as he had never displayed jealousy and had always been emotionally present, not only for his wives, but also for his children. He was first married to Vanessa in 2008, and they had 3 children, Dane, Zara, and Sebastian. In 2009, they found a sister wife, Charis, and he had 5 more children with her, Daniel, Dalinar, Misty, Serenity, and Chloe. The Briney family was headed by Drew Briney, who at the time was married to 3 women. His first wife was April, and they had 6 children, Kaylana, Kyra, Jocelyn, Brielle, Jacob, and Jasher. After he married his second wife, Aurelie, they had 6 more children, namely Malachi, Evelia, Noah, Benjamin, Josiah, and Lorelei. He added 3 more kids when he married his third wife, Angela. The Snowden couple, Dimitri and Ashley, were in the middle of looking for a sister wife. At that time, they already had 2 children, and Ashley was heavily pregnant with their 3rd child. The couple was never legally married because they knew from the get-go that they would be pursuing the polygamous lifestyle. Out of all the polygamous families featured in the 2nd season of Seeking Sister Wife, it was the Winder family who became fan favorites. It consisted of Colton and his 2 wives, Sophie and Tammy, and the main reason why they differed from the other families was that fans believed that they pursued the polygamous lifestyle for the right reasons. The 2 wives embraced the lifestyle to the core and developed a sisterhood in which they both worked hard to be a team in raising their children as one unit, devoid of jealousy and competition. The McGees were exploring the polygamist lifestyle when they joined the show. Bernie and Paige already had children at the time, and they planned to have more by looking for a sister wife, as Paige couldn't have more kids. However, they were unsuccessful after interviewing potentials due to Paige's jealousy. She couldn't handle her husband dating another woman. Garrick and Danielle Merrifield became polygamists when Garrick said that God had called them to pursue a plural lifestyle. They had been married for 13 years and were now actively hunting for a second wife and sister. They found one from Brazil named Roberta, but there were complications because she's a foreigner. The Clark family, Jared and Vanessa, joined the show as they were building a polygamous family. They added sister Kaylana, and at the premiere of the third season, had just moved into a new house so that Jared would be closer to his job as a teacher to special kids. From the get-go, the fans didn't like the way he treated his wives. He had this idea that he was the king of the house and the wives were the queens. But according to the fans, he treated them more like his slaves. Sidian and Tasha Jones were together for 4 years before they started to look for a sister wife. They lived in Boise, Idaho, and ran a graphic business at home. They considered themselves spiritually married because Sidian was already legally married to another woman when they met. Tasha thought that he was joking when he shared that he was a polygamist and was reluctant at first, but when she studied the concept, she accepted the dynamics of polygamy. He has 3 children from past relationships, but only Tyrone and Lillian lived with them, as Ellie lived elsewhere with her mother. Living a polygamous lifestyle can be tempting to many people, but not all women can be generous enough to share their man and his resources with other women. The idea of establishing a sisterhood between wives of the same man was difficult to achieve, and creating a harmonious vibe with a huge family is even more so. It takes a certain type of woman to be able to peacefully participate in it, as shown in Seeking Sister Wife. Some of the families in the show experienced trials that even rivaled those of the leading TV daytime dramas. Following is a list of some of the most dramatic events involving the cast members of the TV show. Many loyal viewers who loved the Snowdens were shocked when allegations of physical and mental abuse were hurled by a former sister wife. For the longest time, both Dimitri and Ashley couldn't find the perfect wife for them, but in the third season, finally finding Crystalline Peterson. It didn't take long for Dimitri to propose to her, and they were married by the end of the season. However, viewers discovered that they divorced shortly after the wedding episode was aired on TV. In May 2021, Crystalline hurled accusations of domestic abuse she experienced throughout her journey as a sister wife. She even filed a restraining order against her former husband, and that she lived in fear for about a year during that time. One of the most disturbing allegations was that during sexual intercourse with Dimitri, he choked her, and even if she said no, he continued with the act. She said, "The more I struggled, the more he enjoyed it." Crystalline also shared that there was a time he woke her up to brutally assault her by slamming her head onto the headboard while yelling at her. When Crystalline's accusations went viral, Dimitri's former wife came forward to tell her story. She experienced the same things when she was with the Snowdens. She claimed that Ashley was also an abuser and a manipulator. It was even worse during her time, since the Snowdens insisted that they all go around the house naked. She had to tell Dimitri to wear boxer shorts in the presence of her young daughter. She also claimed that she told this to the TLC executives, but they allegedly chose not to listen to her. She said that if only they did, Crystalline wouldn't have had to suffer the same thing. After all these revelations, fans believe that Ashley left Dimitri as well, based on the cryptic messages she later posted on her Instagram account. The TLC executives decided to boot out the Briney family from the second season of Seeking Sister Wife, even as Drew Briney and his family claimed that they'd already finished filming their episodes. Viewers were surprised as to why they weren't seen again, and it was revealed later on that April Briney left not only the show, but the family as well. Allegedly, she packed up a few things under the guise of taking the kids on a hike. Based on an Instagram post, April said that she left her husband and the rest of the family because she felt that the 2 other sister wives, Aurelie and Angela, were ganging up on her. She had had enough and decided to go back to her family in Utah with all her kids. April didn't know that at the time. Drew had the sheriff following her while she was leaving the city, having claimed that she kidnapped her kids and was mentally unstable. Based on the online reaction, The viewers sided with April because Drew would often complain about her and talk with the other wives behind her back. Drew filed for divorce in June 2018, and it was granted after a month. The TLC network felt that her departure from the TV show, as well as the divorce, were heavy subjects for the concept of the series, and that it ultimately gave them a reason to have them fired from the show. When Drew and his wives posted negative comments about April on social media, April wrote a lengthy post on her Facebook, recounting the day she and her kids left their home in Oregon and the reason behind her decision. In March 2019, Seeking Sister Wife fans were shocked when the news came out that Bernie and Paige McGee had been arrested and taken into custody in Jasper County Jail in Mississippi. Paige's brother, Patrick Marble, along with his girlfriend, complained that the McGee couple was stalking and harassing them. They were released 2 hours after the arrest, after posting a $250 bail bond, and the charges were just misdemeanors. It was reported that the beef between the siblings started when Patrick screen grabbed one of Paige's comments on a child with Down syndrome on one of the social media apps. She allegedly posted, "Yes, I do feel sorry your child is a retard with mental issues." And she also added that it was because God was punishing the parent for being a horrible person. Patrick made a series of tweets about Paige always trying to be a victim when she can be despicable and hurtful. He also claimed that TLC and his sister only cared about the TV rating. However, there was a rumor that Patrick was dating someone from the show. On 15 June 2019, Bernie McGee went out for a bicycle ride, and sometime later, Paige received a call from her husband saying that he didn't feel well. Paramedics were called, and he was taken to St. Dominic Hospital, where he later died. The cause of death identified as heat stroke and a heart attack. He was survived by his wife and 4 children who were distraught, especially since they'd lost their home in a fire a few months back, and he passed away just as they were trying to put everything into place. They ran a GoFundMe page for a while to help pay for funeral costs, because it was well known that Bernie was the sole breadwinner of the family. After the funeral, an emotional Paige blamed her brother Patrick for causing Bernie too much stress that led to his death. She posted on her official Facebook page that the felony stalking charges that Patrick filed against them bothered her husband, since it carried with it a sentence of up to 1 year in jail. The court hearing was soon to take place at that time. Bernie was also devastated that the kids witnessed their arrest, and he couldn't forget the expression on the face of one of his sons. The Joneses were introduced into the 3rd season of Seeking Sister Wife. They said that when Sidian met Tasha, he was very honest with her that he was a polygamist and that he was already married. When he courted Tasha, he claimed that his first wife was accepting of the situation, only things didn't work out between them. They didn't talk much about her as a sign of respect, since she didn't want to be involved with them anymore. However, the first wife refuted their claims. It started when Tasha was discovered to have allegedly been charged with felony theft, and her mugshot went viral. Apparently, in early 2016, she was involved in a burglary incident and was arrested after 9 months. Through a plea deal she arranged with her lawyer, she was given unsupervised probation, which gave her the chance to live normally again. The whole arrest incident was the content of a YouTuber called Tracy Trendy, but Alavandulu Seymour commented on the video post and claimed to be Sidian's first wife. She said that the polygamous lifestyle was forced on her, and what really happened was that Sidian cheated on her. The first wife said she didn't have a choice at the time because Sidian and Tasha were already hooking up. She didn't elaborate, but Sidian forced her to accept Tasha when the latter moved in with them. She tried befriending her so as to not lose her husband, but things went south, and due to the situation, she had a mental breakdown. Is it any wonder that this series was canceled? No producer could stand the possibility of frequent legal procedures which could very well involve the network, as intriguing as the events described were to the viewing public. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.